All right, we're live. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Oh, yeah. It's freaking Monday.
Back in the saddle at work I can shine. I love the rat race and the starting line is Monday. Thank gosh it's Monday. Sing with me.
Look at it out there. Rainy ass day. It's a good day to be sitting on the couch watching movies. I love Mondays. Oh, what a mess. Oh, not prepared. Got here at 5:45, still not ready. Bitch. Oh my goodness, it is Monday indeed. Feels like a Monday, looks like a Monday, smells like a Monday. Oh wait, that was late night tacos. Lordy, Lordy, started off right. Hopefully you're waking up well. Good morning. You're listening to Sapphire'S Soup du Jour, stirring the pot and serving the latest soup on WHOT Hot 93.97. Talk about a new way to start your day. Mondays are where it's at. I'm going to tell you. Love me a good Monday. But today, this is a different kind of day. It's a day, we got a lot to talk about. We're not dragging ourselves in to a bunch of nonsense and effery right away. But this is the kind of day it is for me so far. Can you hear it? Barely. There we go. This is the type of day we're going to have today. Buttermilk biscuit type of day. Oh, the Billboard Music Awards were yesterday. We're going to talk about that. 2022 Billboard Music Awards. I am officially old. I didn't even know they were on. All right. Yeah, we're going to have a buttermilk biscuit type of day. Oh, goodness. We got volume going everywhere today. My gosh. All right. We got shootings going on like crazy. The Billboard Awards going on like crazy. But here's the biggest deal. We're going to be talking about spring things today, right? Getting your houses up in order. Our yard. You know, we take some take pride in their yards, some more than others. But to some, cutting the grass, good enough. To others, you got to edge a little bit. You got to have the edging right. You got to weed whack everything. You got to plant your flowers. You got to weed everything, right? There's a lot that goes into it. But when it comes to your garden, even if it's a flower garden or if you're gardening and you got your tomato plants or whatever, are you doing it right or are you doing it wrong? There's a very good chance when it comes, not the gardening, not the actual growing of the tomato or the flower, but the beauty of it, the look, the cosmetics, the edging, right? You edge your garden, Do you edge your garden like you edge your husband? Better hope not. Anyway, I'm glad buttermilk biscuits is about done. So we're going to be talking about that today. We're going to be talking about how to get your house ready to sell when it's a murder house, right? Or what they're calling it now. I think they're calling it something different now. It's not necessarily called a murder house, right? I think it's something else now called. Oh gosh, I can't remember now, but we're going to talk about that later today, and we'll get to that. So we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about, and we're going to talk about the world affairs, right? The state of our country. We're breaking it down. We want to blame the gun. We want to blame the shooter. None of that's helping. So we're going to be breaking it down a little bit further today, right? And it will not solve any of the problems, but it will bring light to what I believe to be the underlying issue here. It's not the guns. It's not the people, right? It's the people. It's the people doing it. But there's a reason, right? There's a reason an 18-year-old kid has a multiple 100-page hate manifesto. How do we get there? That's what we're going to address, because the gun doesn't matter, right? If I take the bullets away, I can beat you with the gun. If you take the gun, I'll stab you. If you take the knife, I got a pen. If you take my pen, I'll find something to hit you with. We're missing the target on all of it. So we're going to talk about that. But then when you start listening to the winners of the 2022 Billboard Awards, you go, well, no wonder this country is in the state it is. We got it all wrong so far, but that's all right. Life is short. We're spending it worried about things we can't control. Like, here's a question. Today, I'm listening to the news, getting ready to come to work. They're talking about the baby formula shortage. They blamed it, at least this news article, this news story they were running on the news, talked about increased demand for the product, the reason for the shortage. What exactly has taken place over the past couple years that has made the increase in baby formula? Have we had that many more babies in 21 and 2022 than we have in the previous, 300 years? Because all of a sudden we're over consuming it. Same with gasoline, right? Well, supply and demand, and now it's $4.50 a gallon. So from last year, from the beginning of this year till now, we are demanding more gas. So now we have decided as a country, we haven't driven enough yet. We're going to drive more. So now we go to work and back. We go to the store and back. We go to our friend's house and back. We take our kids to soccer and basketball and baseball and football and cheerleading and tennis and whatever the hell and back. But now we're doing more. So we're consuming more gas. So much so that they got to raise the price record high to get us to calm down. We're driving way more than before. Bull crap, people. Pull your head out of your ass. You'll hear a sound. That sound, it's okay. Your ears might pop a little. Valsalva if you need to. That means plug your mouth and nose and blow out, and your ears will pop a little. Right? That's because your head's been in your ass too long. It creates a little suction up there. When you're done, join the conversation. Until then, go suck on a pacifier and pee your pants. All right. So not only that, see, housing's on the thing. We're going to talk about how do you sell a house, a murder house? How do you sell that? We're going to talk about it. And we're going to talk about some of the most famous murder houses and whether they sold or not, and whether it was a good deal or a bad deal. Depends on what edge of the knife you were on, I guess. Because that's the thing. The blood, the guts, the brain splatter, all those things come into account when you're laying in bed at night going, I love my new house. Wonder who killed themselves in here, or I wonder who died in here. We got a story about karma full circle. It's about a Black American family in the 1800s that was enslaved by a family who now it's gone full circle, except for the slavery part. We're not going back to that. So, but it's a great story of an American story. It's a great one. So it's we need more of them. And I think in reality, we have more of them. We look at all the bad, especially on the news media now. We look at the media, it's a market of money making, right? We have to understand that. So just like Tide is selling their product, the news is selling theirs, and we buy it and we get fired up. And, to be quite honest with you, no disrespect to any of the victims, but shootings in America are not news, okay? It's not a shocker what happened in Houston. It's not a shocker what happened in California, and it's not a shocker what happened in Buffalo. If it don't piss you off, it'll make you wonder. But why are you surprised? Why are you excited about this? This is not anything to be excited about. This is American culture. This is what you reap, what you sow. It is now survival of the fittest, right? Now, don't approach me. Don't come knocking on my door trying to peddle your wares. Don't approach me in my car. I'm going to assume you're a bad person, and I'm going to light you up. Okay? That's the America that we've created. Stay away from me. If I'm on the street and I see you walking between cars, I'm going to assume you're coming to try to carjack me, and you're going to catch a door in your puss. All right? You'll be picking up your teeth, reaching for your gun while I'm on you like a spider monkey. And then you'll shoot me and I'll die and I'll be one of these statistics. And good for you. You'll be a statistic too, and a prisoner. But you'll have street cred, and that's what's important. Because at 16 years old, God forbid you get disrespected, you little tiny prick with no pubic hair. You can't even get a full erection yet, and if you do, you don't know what to do with it, and you're going to go shoot somebody? Get out of here. I'm done with it. So it's not news. It's sad, the horrible thing that happened in Buffalo, them poor people, but it's not news. Well, no kidding that happened. It's raining outside. Is that news? It's May. May flowers from what? April showers bring May flowers, but you can say spring showers bring May flowers. What? It's not news. You want Joe Biden to go over there? It's a political ploy. Joe Biden does not care about the people in Buffalo any more than he cares about the people in Houston, California, Iowa, Massachusetts, anywhere else. There's already been a couple of 198 mass shootings in America this year. We're 19 weeks in. Congratulations. We're idiots. So I don't feel bad when people go shooting everything up. It's what we want. So if I see you in the street looking kind of shady, forgive me for defending myself. I'm going to assume you mean me harm because there's a very good chance you do. So stay away from me. How about that? Take your 3 feet, multiply it by 2 if you're capable, which would be 6 feet. Don't even come near me, right? Then we'll be fine. Maybe 12, 24 to 36 if we could do it. I have no use for it. I'm going to assume you want to hurt me if you're walking toward me making eye contact. You might be coming to give me $5, but I'm going to assume you're going to try to steal. So get away from me. That's the America we've created. Congratulations. Isn't that great? Our founding fathers, all of our the Ben Franklin, Albert Einstein, Rockefeller, Carnegie, Henry Ford, all these people that did all these ingenuity things back when they didn't even have the resources we have. They created resources through natural resources and unnatural kind of electricity when you think about it. How the hell did that happen? Who in the hell thought of that? And we can't even, I mean, they're rolling over in their graves going, we took something from nothing and you've got everything given and you're effing it all up. Shame on you. And we go, you can't talk to me like that. My mommy said, well, your mommy's an idiot because she raised people like this. And that's where the problem lies, right there. Parents are screwing up their kids. How does an 18-year-old kid have 100 and some page manifesto of hate? Where does an 18-year life hasn't even kicked you in the nuts yet, boy? You're an 18-year-old child. Yes, you're legally man, but just because you got pubes doesn't make you a man. So where do we get an 18-year-old wet behind the ears kid with so much hate to plan, go the night before, stake it out, figure it all out, and kill as many black people as you can at 18 years old? You blame him only? Yeah, okay, I blame him, absolutely. And screw him. But now I'm looking at mom and dad. What in the hell? Because it's not something where little Johnny was being a good boy all of a sudden and then he snapped. No. There was a trail of ignorance and hate. And we went, oh, well. He was in trouble with the police for threatening to shoot up his high school. Well, nothing we can do. Yeah, plenty we can do. He would have gotten the gun whether it was legal or not. So you can argue, well, it was an illegally bought gun or legally bought gun. Doesn't matter. He was going to get his hands on a gun anyway. He live streamed it. He had body armor. He planned on making it home that night. You don't wear body armor to a suicide by cop party, right? I mean, kind of stupid, isn't it? If you plan to die by cop, you don't body armor up. I mean, I've never been in a gang close to the apple dumpling gang, but I like cherry pie too. And they said, no, can't be part of our apple dumpling gang. As soon as you say gang to me, I laugh. I feel bad for you. And I know you're a tough guy, only with a gun, because you get your little rail ass handed to you by most people in a fight. So you shoot. I understand. I get it. But you're a kid. You've been manipulated. I understand. I get it. But doesn't alleviate the fact that you're a piece of crap and you've relinquished your right to live. You want to go kill people? You die. That's the way it should be. Let's all forget government housing and cheese. How about guns for everybody? Let's level the playing field, huh? Forget this law of gun buyback. No gun buyback. Let's be like the Ukrainian people. Let's arm our citizens. Oh, you want a home invade? Pick the house, bitch. How about that? Oh, you want to come into my store and rob me? Quick draw McGraw here. I've been practicing. See, this is the America we've created. We've gone back to, we don't like the 1860s. There was bad things happening in this country. There still is. Dumb. Same stuff. We need guns to protect ourselves because of people like you out there robbing and stealing and shooting. Guess what the term shotgun came from? Riding shotgun. Remember that term? We're riding shotgun tonight, and then the guy in the back says, I'm riding Rockstar. Okay, well, that comes from back in the day, allegedly, when there was stagecoaches. The person to the right would have the shotgun to keep thieves from stealing. So when you're sitting there in the bushes, lurking about, waiting for your next victim, even in 1830, they would prey on the weak. And if they see an unarmed bimbo in the car seat next to the person driving, they go, we got this one, let's go. But if they see an armed person next to it, they go, well, let that one move along, look at the next one. That's where we are. That's where our technology has taken us. Our forefathers created a freaking light bulb for us. Our forefathers put electricity and heat and cooling in our homes. When it gets warm out, we turn the air on and cool off. When it gets cold out, we turn the air. It's a flip of a freaking button. And all you got to do is switch it over as you walk by in your living room. It's that freaking easy. Back in their day, they had to go cut the firewood down after hunting and gardening all day for food. Then they would have to stoke the fire. Did you get an 8 hours night's sleep then? Hell no. You had to get up to stoke the fire every couple of hours. They have made our lives so easy. And we've completely embarrassed ourselves. So I don't get excited when I turn on the news on a Sunday morning and they go, oh, 10 dead in Buffalo. Terrible tragedy. Not news in America. Not news. Sorry, not news. Not worth my time. Not. Now, if I get killed or if my daughter or son get killed, would it be worth my time? Well, yeah. Would I be surprised? No. I wouldn't be surprised if bullets came flying through here right now. I wouldn't be surprised if one of my kids was killed right now. Because why? Because they're out in public. My one daughter lives in Chicago. Woo! That sucks. I know people in Chicago, oh, no, it's safe. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, tell me, Mary. I'm sure it is. Because a gangbanger's bullet won't hit an innocent person. We know that. They're guided missiles. We know that. We see it in the streets every day. My bad. Golly gee. Where's the apple pie? Give me a hot dog. So much for not getting upset. But how can this not upset you? But we want to blame the gun. Why is Joe Biden going to Buffalo to mourn with the victims? That's the American dream, right? While mothers are in the street crying, our babies. This is what we chose. So you reap what you sow, man. Welcome to America. Buck up. Arm yourself and duck. It's ridiculous. But in a country where Ye wins Billboard Christian Act of the Year, I mean, if I was a Christian act right now and I got beat by Ye, I'd be like, well, I'm hanging it up. I might just change everything. Oh my gosh. It was chilly in here a little bit ago, but I've gotten fired up now. I'm wearing a sweater and it's warm. But you know what? It is what it is. And I get excited about things. I have the right to speak. You have the right to speak too. And you're more than welcome to join in on the live stream that we've got going on. We got Stu chiming in, saying good morning. Good morning, Stu. Good morning, Jay. Checking in. Thank you for that. Hope everything's going well. Had a great weekend. You know, friends. And it's funny because we were sitting there the other night. We were at the Adam's Apple, group of friends playing. We weren't even playing cards. We were just sitting there talking, having a good time. And I had to message them at the end of the night saying, having good friends makes life worth living. And it's so true. We want to shut ourselves off from everything in the world because of what we see. And it's easy to want to do that, but in reality, humans are social creatures. So when we get to that urge to go, you know what, shut down mode, I want to live alone in the world, isolated, that's bad, right? And just like with me, I'm done with society. I just assume you're out to get me. That's bad. And people go, oh, that's self-preservation, honey. Welcome to the real world. No, self-preservation is I should be able to trust you walking by until you give me a reason not to. But now society has it to where you have given me reason not to. And that's not fair to the young black man walking down the street who has the hat on and the pants saggy, and he's a good kid who's never been in trouble. But now because of you, I have to look cross-eyed at this person, and they're going to think it's because they're black. And it's not. It's because you got a heartbeat, man. It's because human people have shown me I cannot trust you. I do not believe you because I've seen it too much. That's the America we created. It started somewhere, I don't know, in the 80s maybe, but I was saying it last night. If you were born in 1975 or 80 and earlier, you're good. If you were born after the 80s, I feel bad for you. Your parents did you wrong, most likely, because that's the only way an 18-year-old child, legally an adult, but let's face it, at 18 years old, life has not begun to screw you yet. But yet you're filled with a manifesto of hate. And we reach right for the gun. And we go, we got to blame the gun. We got to blame this. And what went wrong. And he shouldn't have been able to buy the gun. And let's not name him. And all those things. And you know what it is? It's bull crap. How did an 18-year-old get there that quick? You want to talk about training up a child on the fast track to doomsday? How in the hell did that happen? It wasn't a bad mistake where I got in a rage and a jealous fit, and I'm still learning how to control emotions, and we already know we don't know how to do that anyway. And she broke up with me, and I went crazy. No, this is a long, thought-out process, premeditated hate and murder, allegedly, from an 18-year-old who pleads not guilty. You live streamed it. You had body armor on. We watched you. I didn't. People watched you doing this. Witnesses pointed you out. The cops caught you doing it, and you surrendered to them. Yet you pled not guilty. What a slap in the face. But hey, that's the American justice system. We're allowed to do that. So do that. We will. That's why I say allegedly, right? We don't need my voice over the court proceeding saying, see, 82 people were listening to Sapphire when she said he was a killer. And I say, our governors, our mayors, our president, we all have to be very hesitant to come out in an emotional state and make claims like that. Because like with Kyle Rittenhouse, he was labeled things and later found not guilty. Now there's lawsuits. This was live streamed. This one's a little different. But nonetheless, we need to be very careful what we put out there until we know for sure. The American justice system, innocent until proven guilty, abso-freaking-lutely. But we saw it on video. It's on Twitch, I believe. So, well, they took it down within 2 minutes. But there were warning signs. Once again, there were warning signs. All right, let's see. When we get back, what national day is it? I'm using the wrong mouse here. We get back, we'll look at what national day we got going on. Just Bob may not be with us today. He might or might not be joining us later. We were in talks last night. So it'll be a hit and miss today for Just Bob. So we'll get through it without him. We're also going to be talking a little bit about how we can rethink and reshape our country. It's not all at the ballot box, people. It's not all about who's president. It's about what we allow in our house, in our yard, in our neighborhood, in our city, in our county, and in our state, and in our country. So there's a lot more at stake than just who's the president, because they are puppets on the golden strings of the pharmaceutical companies and insurance companies. Mark my freaking words. All right, we're going to break. You're listening to Sapphire'S Soup du Jour on Hot 93.97. Keep it locked. All right, let's see. And we're here. Oh, yeah. Crazy. I can't wait to talk about the murder houses. That's going to be fun. Murder house. It's pretty. I mean, obviously there was some we obviously know about, like who would want to live in it after that, like atrocity, not just murder, suicide, or even just big historical events. Like I don't know what it would be because historical events usually includes murder of high profile people or something like that. But it's or gruesome, the more gruesome you do and stuff like that. But interesting. Like, would you live in a murder house? Would you buy a house where you knew someone was murdered in or committed suicide? Just knowing that, I don't know. I don't know if it would bother me or not. Not knowing wouldn't bother me. Ignorance is bliss. But once you know, you know. So if there were strange goings on, like things were moving, like people claim, and things happening, you see shadows and whatnot. It might be like if you go, oh, come to find out so and so died. But you think about a house that was built in the 1950s. It's 2023 almost. It's 2022. I mean, a lot of places, someone died in the house, right? An elderly person lived their life, 90 some years old. Believe me, you get a bungalow, you go up in the attic, there's them old hospital beds up there because somebody died in the home. They died in the home. They probably raised their children in. And does that freak you out? Or would it just be like, that's natural causes? Grandma died at 87, grandpa died at 92, and they died in the home that they raised their children in. The grandchildren lived there, and now maybe they're going to sell the home, or because the grandkids don't want it, or maybe they're going to give it to the grandkids to keep it in the family, whatever. Could you live there? When we bought our first house, there was a bed in it from somebody who had died in the home, and they were older when they died, and that's why they were selling the home. And unnerving feeling, like, oh, why didn't they take the bed out of here? Like, ugh. But we rocked it. We stayed there, man. Oh yeah. Rainy day in Detroit City, baby. But it's supposed to clear up in the early afternoon, late morning. And you can see there's blue skies a little bit coming through. So the rain is starting to cease a little bit. It was coming. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Hope Princess ain't watching. I just ruined the whole ledge. Oh, actually, if you're watching, Princess, hope you're enjoying your vacation. You better not be watching, girl. Oh my God, today's a huge day. Oh, I didn't realize it. Today is National Mimosa Day. I had a mimosa with vodka last night. It was crazy. I had one Stella. Let me tell you about our dining experience. We went to Ford Garage. It's a Ford Motor Company owns it. They got the old antique cars in there. Very cool place. Food's really good. Yesterday, our service sucked. She was very friendly. She was also very pregnant, but I don't think that had anything to do with the service. But we got in there. It was about a 15-minute wait, but it's 2:30 on a Sunday. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. So we wait about 15 minutes. We get our table. We sit down. Nothing. We wait. She comes up. She comes up and she says, "Hey, y'all, we'll be right with you." She basically walked around the table and said, "Okay, what can I get you?" We ordered our drinks. She said, "Would you like an appetizer?" Stu says, "Give us the onion rings." The onion rings come on a long funnel. It's a very cool place. It comes on a metal funnel upside down, and the rings go on the funnel tube, whatever. We get the appetizers before our drinks. Never any water offered, never water brought. Waited for a long time to get our drinks. Finally got them. I ordered a Stella. They ordered Bacardi and Coke. Their drinks were $12 each. There was 3 of them. My drink was $6. That's $42, right? Never did they brought the food. Never did they come back to see about drinks. Never did they come back to see if our food was good. Had we needed something, we were fucked. So we sat there, had our beer. I had to sip it little by little ration it. Because we didn't see her. I looked, I'm not exaggerating, on the clock, at least 10 minutes, not seen. I thought she went to break. Somebody's going to cover the table. Nobody ever came. Our drinks are empty. Our plates are empty. She comes over. You want dessert? I wanted to. Hell no, bitch. But I didn't say a word. I ignored her. They said, oh, no, we're good. I'll get you your bill. Never once. So we were going to get another drink each. That's another $42 on the bill because it was $42 for a round of drinks. Never even offered. So I want to let you know, if you're the manager and you catch wind of this, your waitress fucked up yesterday, man, because we was ready to party hardy. But the food was good. It was pretty cool because now I got this phone here with all the Google Pay and PayPal and all that. I didn't even have to talk to this bitch no more. I scanned my receipt and paid it right there. And I know what you're thinking. Don't tip her. 20%. I gave her 20%. I thought about saying something. She was nice. She was friendly. She was very attentive when she was at the table. She just didn't come to the table. Now, I don't know. We don't know the story. Maybe she was having contractions and they were going, we don't have anybody. And she knew that. And she's in the back going, oh, and then coming out and putting the face on. I don't know those details. So instead of me being a bitch and going, my beer was empty. I wanted more beer with my fries. I'm eating salty fries and a hamburger, and I get one beer and it's gone, and I'm pissed. But I don't know the backstory. So I keep my mouth shut. I was there for the company anyway with good friends. And it was what it was. But I wanted to say something, but I felt like it wouldn't do any good. It wouldn't have remedied any situation. And I didn't know the whole story, so I didn't want to come across like a bitch, like Karen. There's the Karen of the group going to complain about everything. No, and I'll go back, and I recommend it. Shit happens everywhere you go. You could get bad service one day. But it was delicious hamburger. They got good hamburgers. Half a pound burger, good French fries. I've not had anything there I haven't liked. But morning, D, checking in. We got a couple of songs going. We come back officially. We're still here, but we go back on the air at 7:52 Eastern. But yeah, I'll tell you what, man. I didn't even know the Billboard Music Awards were going on. And I looked this morning and I see it, and I'm looking at the people that won. And a couple of the names I know from on here and stuff like that. But it's just like, I remember when I was younger, I knew all the, and I never dreamt that I would have been one of the people in my 50s going, I don't know who these people are. I don't understand it. Because I was so hip on it all then. And I'm like, I won't be one of those. This is my wheelhouse, music. I still love music, but I don't know the new stuff. I'm like all other people. I love my music. I listen to music from my generation. That's what I like. If I'm not on the app here listening to 93, 97, I'm listening to classic rock. That's what I like. I like all kind of music, but like if I'm at the Apple, we're hanging out, and if I'm well now they got the jukebox and the speakers outdoors, but last summer we would be on our own outside. They didn't have speakers out there. So we would bring a speaker. I had iHeartRadio. I'd put on 80s, all the 80s music, not just 80s rock, everything. And everybody loved it. 80s music. The young whippersnappers might not have liked it so much. They might have been like, what the hell? Flock of seagulls. So here in Detroit area, it's been mid 80s, 80 degrees, beautiful. Today, it's like 50 something. It's going to be in the mid 60s. It's going to get back down to normal a little bit. So I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt. It's rainy too, so it's going to be a chillier day. But honestly, I just threw the first thing on this morning getting up. 3:30 came early today. I was sleeping on the chair by 9 last night, trying to watch a movie. Wasn't happening. So I went to bed a little after 9. Woke up 3:30. Now, I'm hoping later to get over and play some pool at the Hayloft Saloon where men meet men and everybody's welcome, or I wouldn't be there. Oh, go over play some pool. Maybe if Andrew and Casey are going. I don't go to the Hayloft by myself. It's where men meet men. And I'm welcome. Everybody's welcome. Girls go, guys go, everybody goes. Real women, whatever. Everybody's welcome there. But for me, I like to go play pool and darts, and I get the hell out of there, usually by 8 o'clock, only because I'm a lady and I want to leave and I can do what I want. But it's not because I'm not welcome. You know, in fact, they go, girl, you can stay all you want. We don't care. And they don't care at all. But I go, well, you know, let the guys have their place to do what they want to do. Just not have to worry about anything. If you want to act silly, act silly. If you want to yell and shout, go ahead. Want to get naked? No, not allowed to do that now. No naked wieners. But you can have mesh over them. No, you're not. You're not allowed to be. Your private parts cannot be seen in public, or you get in trouble. Well, so I mean, you know, sitting here today looking at the news, there's a lot of killing going on, but that's not news, man. Come on, that's what we do. If we're going to get upset, let's get upset about all the inner city killings. We're killing each other. Our kids, our young adults are killing one another at horrible rates. And we don't want to touch that. There's our problem. You got like Detroit, Michigan. Man, they got a nice little square mile area downtown. It's beautiful. Everyone that owns a business down there don't even live in the freaking city. They're trying to get people to live in the city that like black-owned businesses, white-owned businesses, every business. Like, and you live down there and you work down there, but that's not what happens. We got people that come in, buy a business, and then they live out here, and all this goes on. The neighborhoods are killing. And we're going, man, Detroit's on the uprising. Maybe it is. But just because you put up a nice building and the lights are shining bright on the Detroit River at night and the cameras make it look good, what about the drive-by shootings where 4-year-old kids are getting shot in bed? What about the drive-by shootings where people be found in cars and then the cars are being burned and dead bodies that have been shot are being found in them? What about all these things that are happening that our kids are doing to each other? Black on black, white on white, black on white, white on black, all that. Take your race and shove it. Kids killing each other. We don't want to address that. As soon as you say inner city crime, race gets brought up. It ain't our fault. that the majority of the Detroit inner cities are black and they have the right to peaceful living. So if you're white and you're breaking the law, you got to quit. If you're black and you're breaking the law, you got to quit. I don't think that's hard. I don't think that's hard to fathom until a white rich man in a suit gets involved. It's called politics. All right, we got one more song. We got Big Papa. It's 4 minutes, and then we go back to it. But that's, I mean, and we can address all these things, and until we have to adapt the justice system a little bit. Innocent until proven guilty is in the court of law, in front of a judge, seated at a bench, all people under oath. That is innocent until proven guilty. But if we've got you on Twitch, or if we've got eyewitnesses that have pinpointed you as the shooter and you killed people, there's no bond. There's no bail. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir or ma'am. You go sit your ass in that jail cell. We don't care. But civil rights. Your civil rights went out the door when you decided to go in there acting a goddamn fool. Okay? Telling you. I blame the parents. We're fighting over the right to kill our babies. We're fighting to my body. What about the kids once they're born? Fuck them then, right? Yeah, they're born. We don't care now. We won our fight. Thank you, D. Thank you, thank you. I'm trying. I don't know if it's great or not, but it's a show. Oh, Lordy. Oh, we still got 2 minutes, bitch. What am I doing? Got me all fired up. Yeah, we're still working on the cameras, I take it, because they're not up yet. But we rolling with the camera over here. You can barely tell the difference. It's sitting near it. So I got it as close as I can. But that's one thing. You guys, we rolling here. Like these shows, we're doing them live. You got my show. You got Jay the Great with the Samuel Takeover. You got Princess and Cujo doing the Good Times show. We don't know from one day to the next what we're walking into with the technology upgrades and the cameras. And we keep it rolling along. This is amazing work we're doing here. Oh, and don't forget July 2nd, bitches. We got it planned and ready to go. We got a taco truck planned. We got dunk tank. I got to confirm that still, but we're getting the dunk tank, and we're going to run a little thing on Facebook and social media. And if there's anybody, they got to be in the local area. They got to be relevant to us to be able to get them. Who are we dunking? Michelle Franklin, we're dunking her. Me, I'll be in there. We will both be wearing white t-shirts. Thank you very much. Baby. Baby, baby.
Monday, Monday. I'm so happy it's Monday.
Oh, my baby in the street. I can't believe it. Not in America. How did it happen? Oh, my God. The new battle cry of America. My baby's laying dead in the street by our own hands. We can't handle ourselves anymore. Congratulations, America. You suck when it comes to that. We have done no good in any way, shape, or form. But it's all right. Today's National Mimosa Day. Well, this is Miss Dade. There should be no day other than a Sunday for National Mimosa Day. Why they picked May 16th and not the second or third Sunday of every May? Why don't Mimosa Day coincide with Mother's Day? Huh? That would have been a good little marketing thing. Orange juice and champagne or sparkling wine. It's the brunch drink of champions. You get to the bottomless mimosas. It should be on a Sunday only. They did a bad deed making Mimosa Day on a Monday. But I'm going to celebrate it anyway. Okay, we've got an Ohio man attempting to keep up with a Florida man when, all right, Brett Red. Brett is a 36-year-old man from Columbus, Ohio. Brett is what we say, when we say not the sharpest tool in the shed, Brett is one of those that we are talking about, okay? Brett is from Hilliard, Ohio, and he called the police on Monday to report his truck stolen. So he's at a gas station. 36-year-old Brett Red reports his truck stolen by his passenger. They're at a gas station on Cemetery Road. They stop for gas. He gets out. The passenger takes off in his vehicle. Hopefully, after he got gas. Never know. We're dealing with criminals. So there's an element of genius and there's an element of complete idiocracy, all wrapped up into one heartbeat. Brett gets out. His dumb buddy takes off. Brett calls the police. My truck is stolen. Well, the only problem with this whole story is that 5 days earlier, Brett himself had stolen that truck from someone else. So now guess what happened? Brett got arrested. For car theft. He should have gotten, kind of, being stupid's not a crime, but it should be maybe a misdemeanor, right? Because that's pretty freaking stupid. Pretty stupid. But that's okay. We need people like that to make us feel smarter. Don't you feel smarter now? If you stole a truck 5 days ago, did you forget you stole it? Or were you using the old possession is 9/10 of the law? I stole it 5 days ago. It's mine now. I don't know. I don't look too highly upon Ohio people anyway, right? But this makes it even worse. I'm just kidding, by the way. Ohio and Michigan have a long Hetfield and McCoy rivalry. go back to National Mimosa Day and they would all chill out a little bit. Perhaps, but perhaps not. All right, so the Grammys was this weekend. It was last night. Or no, not the Grammys, the Billboard Music Awards. Used to be my thing, right? Be like, oh yeah, we know. When we're younger, we know all about it. Now, there's a couple names I knew. There's a couple of them I knew. You know, Drake. I think he won rap artist. Drake won top artist. Olivia Rodrigo cleaned house, and she won top new artist amongst other things. In fact, we got a couple of her tunes here. Let's see. Let me get my headphones on here. We're going to just find out what an award-winning song sounds like. So this is her song, Good For You, Olivia Rodrigo. All right. Oh, so she won top new artist, Drake, top male artist, okay, so Drake cleaned house, top artist, top male artist. Olivia Rodrigo won top female artist and top new artist. Country music got kicked in the nuts. Taylor Swift won top Billboard 200 artist. And she won top country artist, which is peculiar because all these country artists go, but what about me? Well, you suck. I'm just kidding. Country is a lot more mainstream than it used to be, but it's still got that country sound to it. The guitars got that country sound to it. The drums sound like drums. They could be rock or, but you can tell the difference even though the guitar players playing, just the tones are different. They're supposed to be. That's a good thing. But country, it's just country music is very much more mainstream than it ever was before. It was almost like back in the day, you were country or you were not. Now you got Kid Rock and how Carrie Underwood was one of the finalists for the country music. Let's go down to the country. Country artist Morgan Wallen won top country male artist. Wasn't he the one banned? Wasn't Morgan Wallen the one who was seen out there using the N-word in the 3 o'clock in the morning in a drunken stupor? Top country artist won by Taylor Swift. Why can you win top Billboard? Isn't that like pop? And then like Carrie Underwood, top female country artist, Miranda Lambert, Taylor Swift. Are they country? Like country to me is Dolly Parton, Loretta Swit. I mean, I don't know. The genres blend together. I can dig that. So this is Olivia's Deja Vu. Now that's what playing here is Deja Vu from Olivia Rodrigo. Top country duo, Dan and Shay. But here's what I want to get to. Top Christian artist. Carrie Underwood, Elevation Worship for King and Country, Lauren Daigle, and Yee. Yee wins. Yee is the winner of your top Christian artist. Yee is the winner of your top gospel artist. If you're not familiar with who Yee is, it's Christian genius billionaire Kanye West. Now, I know we're talking music here, right? I understand we're talking music. We're not talking character. We're not talking anything like that. But in America, on our Billboard Music Awards, Our top Christian act is Kanye West, aka Ye. Far be it from me to judge people, but I'm being a little judgy. Elevation Worship, CC Winans, Kirk Franklin, Maverick City Music, Lauren Daigle, For King and Country, Carrie Underwood got beat by Ye for Christian artist. And I know we're talking music, and I'm not dogging his religion, and I can't speak to how he is as a person if I don't know him. And just because you're crazy doesn't mean you're not Christian. But Kanye, Ye wins Christian and Gospel Artist of the Year. And let's see the trifecta here. Olivia Rodrigo, driver's license. Those are the three that we had loaded up in the system for the day to listen to. This is your top artist award, top new artist, and top female. Megan Thee Stallion won top rap female artist. Drake won top rap male artist. Yeah. Bruno Mars won top R&B tour. Bruno Mars is R&B? I don't know. I'm asking. I thought he was pop. And what's the difference? I thought rhythm and blues, right? R&B, rhythm and blues, and pop, which is popular. So I guess you could defend that and say, well, it's kind of whatever. Doja Cat, top R&B artist. The Weeknd, top R&B male artist. Top Billboard global artist, Ed Sheeran. Interesting to me. And I don't expect to know all of them and everything like that, but I got a kick out of Ye. I don't want to be disrespectful. I guess if he goes by Ye now, Ye. But we know him as Kanye. I guess P. Diddy. Is it Puffy? P. Diddy hosted. What does he go by now? Sean Diddy Combs hosted the music awards, the Billboard Music Awards Sunday in Vegas. Was there any controversy? I don't see it in the news. I think it was pretty much, I think what they're going to do now is tape them. Do they do live? They got to do time delayed now. They can't do live. Like they can't allow anything like that to happen for us to see it again. So Hollywood's got to remain fake and act everything out, right? And not do live TV because we don't know how to handle ourselves. But let's address something else about that. Now that we've got 198 mass shootings in 19 weeks. Let's sink this in. We ended 2021 with 693 mass shootings. There's 365 days in a year. There was 693 mass shootings last year. The year before that, there were 611 mass shootings. In 2019, there were 417 mass shootings. And we know these don't come out of nowhere. These are not out of nowhere. You remember 2012, Aurora, Colorado, the movie theater shooting? Planned violence. There's a trail in almost every case that we, for whatever reason, look the other way. For whatever reason, some understandable, some completely not. Blaming it on mental health. Well, we all have mental health. We all have mental illness. What is making us do this? The general public is at risk. The general public views these shooters as crazy, insane, not in touch with reality. But that's not true, right? There's a very rational thought process that goes in to 100 and some page manifesto at 18 years old to travel 200 plus miles the night before to scope out a grocery store so you can go kill people because of their color of their skin. There's a lot of thought that goes into that. That's not a crazy person who's not thinking straight. This is someone capable of running a multi-billion-dollar company that chooses to be an idiot instead. You got a manifesto, you've got body armor, you got a live stream attack, and you plead not guilty. What the hell's that about? Blame it on what you want. Ban guns. Long as we're taking pills the way we take them, we'll never change. As long as we empower victimization, we'll never change. For instance, people during COVID have had more mental health crises than ever. Really? Really? For what reason? Because we were told to be upset? Because we were shut out of our jobs? Wait, we were given money. Oh, Derek popping in. What percentage of those shootings were carried out by white men? Maybe that leads all the way back to going postal back in the 80s when it was becoming popular. The postal workers were so overworked that they were going postal, is what we called it, shooting at workplaces. White people do this. I agree. Yes. Here's the deal. We could argue, why did he make it out? Would they have talked to a black man and said, look, man, drop the gun? Or would they have said, black man with a gun, rat-a-tat-tat? Hard to argue. Hard to argue. And since we don't know, you can argue all you want, but you got to agree. It's kind of funny how a white guy with a gun in his hand after dusting 10 people walks away. It makes you wonder. Yeah. Ban bullets. Amen. Let's make a sign. We'll go protest. But that's the thing, like Derek's saying, he made a detailed to-do list leading up to it. Mental health, my ass. Got that right. We blame it on that. How can your parents not know? How can your parents not know you're filled with hate? Were they part of it? Were the conversations at the dinner table not so kind to the black community? They have that right to do it in America. But look what you did to your kid. Now, I'm not blaming the parents, but come on. How could they not know? No warning signs at home? You don't open your kid's bedroom door? Dylan Klebold. That name might ring a bell to some of you. To many, it won't. Columbine High School, one of the shooters. When the police went into his room, they opened the door and said, no freaking wonder. He was written all over the walls. It was everywhere. Stupid mom, I don't know. I'm stupid. All I did was lay there with my vagina open. Your kid had it written all over his life. The path he was taking. You did nothing. Same with this. 18-year-old kid filled with racist hate. Man, if you don't like black people, that's one thing. Going and shooting up a bunch of people just so you can watch them in misery is another kind of hate, another kind of evil, right? You don't like transgender people. You go, I don't understand that, Sapphire. That's crazy. I don't understand how a born male can figure a girl and do that. Blows my mind. It doesn't give you the right to shoot me in the face. Look at me, talk about me to your friends, whatever. I can't stand them trannies, whatever. Let me live my life. Do we need to go into a store and shoot everybody because of who they are? Don't know what we're getting out of it. Don't know where it led from to get there. But the starting point is not being discussed, right? Once they decide to do it, it doesn't matter anymore. It's a done deal. Now it just comes down to them having the balls to do it, right? There was a moment in this kid in Buffalo on the live stream where he basically said, all right, this is it. Like, it's all or nothing or something like that. It was convincing himself, here's the time. It was the moment of decision making, the moment of truth. Am I going through with this? Or am I going back home, never to speak of it? And you chose to go through with it. Moment of choice. The parents had the same moment. They may not have noticed, and that's shame on them, but you did your kid wrong. And I blame the parents a little bit now because we know better. We've already put in the work. We've already done the work. We know better. We're failing our children at massive rates. Worried about abortion, we can't take care of the ones we have. Once we get that's what's funny about the political view of pro-life. They don't care about you once you're alive. They just want to keep you here. Makes you wonder why. Are we a commodity? It's a stockade of people. Makes you wonder what we're really doing here. Not humans' purpose, the governmental rich people's purpose for us whilst here. Are you free? Are we really free? I don't know about that one. All right. Here's talking about politics. They're calling 911 repeatedly, not for an emergency, not because someone's snooping around the neighbor's house. We got to go to Florida for this one. Pinellas County. We got to talk about a Jason Philbeck, 29-year-old of Palm Harbor, Florida, arrested Sunday, I'm assuming early in the morning, for calling 911 dispatchers several times to say, and I quote, El Chap needed to be freed from prison, and President Biden needs to be placed into prison. Police dispatchers obviously said, this is an emergency phone call. This is an emergency phone number. Do not make non-emergency calls unless you have an emergency. Do not call here. Well, shortly after, guess what? 911, what is your emergency? And he said, and I quote, El Chap needed to be freed from prison, and President Biden needs to be placed in prison. End quote. You like how I do that? 3 times in 1 hour. So finally, they had the police come out. He answered the door, and guess what he said? El Chapo needs to be freed, and Biden needs to go to prison. And they said, well, you're coming with us for the night. He posted a $150 bond. And according to the documents in the police report, alcohol may have been a factor in his decision making. If that's the worst thing that happened in Florida, what county was that? Pinellas County, Florida that night. Then good for them, because that's a good story. A drunkard on the phone, no big deal. We got this covered. Everybody's going to live, right? They're all white. We don't even think about calling the cops. Like for me, I don't call them. But if I did, I wouldn't worry about the retribution. A black family in America calling the cops, they don't know if it's going to backfire on them. And it has. We won't even go into that. But we need to address how, not me, not us on this show, we, the people of America, need to address how an 18-year-old, how a 16-year-old in Oxford, Michigan, how a 9-year-old in wherever that was shot somebody in school, bringing BB guns, bringing weapons, learning hate. In middle school, there might have been a fist fight. If anything, it was a wrestling match. Right? In high school, there might have been a fist fight out after school, 2:00, so-and-so's are fighting. But there was no weapons drawn. Nobody ever thought about that. Now, doesn't it occur to you that all of our kids are armed? Where are they getting all these guns? Every day. Just Detroit alone. Every day, just Chicago alone. All the other cities in America, big cities too. Where are our kids and teenagers getting all these guns? And what makes them different than the ones who can get them and choose not to? Because there's where we got to get to. Why are our young people choosing to do this? Not take away their ability to shoot. No, let's take away their ability and their desire to want to. 20-some people in Detroit last weekend or so, teenagers, 15-year-old, 17-year-old shot, a dispute turns to violence, and guns being shot. What? The parents don't play a blame in this at all? How do we not say our parents, an 18-year-old with a huge hate manifesto, high school kids bringing weapons into school, the Oxford, Michigan shooter, the parents and the principal had the bag in their possession. They gave the bag back to the kid. The parents refused to take the kid home from school upon the request of the school. Instead, they put a dangerous kid. So think about that. The adults are talking, and the adults go, your kid's a danger to the other kids. Today, we want you to take the kid home. Let cooler heads prevail. And we'll deal with this Monday morning. And the parents go, screw you. We're out of here. They leave. 10 minutes later, the news breaks. They're driving in their car. The mom's driving in her car, gets the news there's a school shooting at Oxford High School. She says, no, my son. She knew it was him. She calls her boss and says, don't judge me for what my kid has done. I need my job. You effed up as a parent. It showed. An 18-year-old kid driving 200 miles to Buffalo to shoot up a bunch of people because they're black. The parents have to be part to blame. Maybe not legally. You can't charge them with nothing. But man, how that slipped through the cracks. But we can't talk about that. Innocent until proven guilty. That's a court of law. I don't have a robot. I don't have a gavel. But until we can do that, this is where we sit. Yep. In 2021, he threatens to shoot up a school. A day and a half later, he's released from the hospital that the police put him in, and he ends up legally buying a gun. Crazy. All right, we're going to break. When we get back, we're talking about edging. And are you doing it wrong? Edging your garden, freak. Edging your garden, like edging your lawn. Springtime's here, right? Cutting the grass is good. But if you want your lawn to look cared for, you edge around the sidewalks. But there's more. You got to edge your flower beds. You got to put the nice designs in there. And there's ways to do it. And if you're doing it wrong and you're half-assing it, your neighbors know. But they won't tell you. But they'll treat you different. They'll treat you way different. All right, let's see here. Uh-oh, didn't want to do that. That just completely stopped everything. All right, we're going to break. You're listening to Sapphire'S Soup du Jour. We'll be right back. Keep it locked. All right, going to break. Be back shortly. Stay tuned.
93.97 Network and Hot 93.97 presents Sapphire'S Soup du Jour with Just Bob stirring the pot and serving the latest soup. The Jay the Great Show, starring Jay the Great. The Honest Truth Show, starring 2K Bentley. The Good Times Show, starring Princess of All and Cujo Speaks. Ty's Take Today every Saturday afternoon. Marcus Divine every Saturday. The legendary House of Shade, Talk to Me Pretty. Check out the U-Store and be the first to own the newest music. Hot 93.97 and the 93.97 Network. Download the 93.97 Network app today.
All right, we're back. Ish. Oh. All right, we are back on a Monday. Hope you're doing as good as I am. I'll tell you what, I might be fired up, but I'm still a happy girl, so that's all that matters to me. Well, that's not all that matters to me, but that's all that matters to me. Make sense? Good. You know, we look to our police. I support the blue, huh? Man, when you get these stories, you gotta tell them. Police chief gets drunk, crashes vehicle, chases himself down, drops his pants to kick his own ass, just as more cops are arriving. We got to go to New Jersey. No, we're not in Florida for this one. We're in New Jersey. It's a whole other state. Bordentown, New Jersey. This is a track record of trouble for this police department. A police chief from Burlington County now facing DWI, driving while intoxicated, in Mercer County for lying down in the road behind his pickup truck, keys and cell phone strewn next to him, is seen in body camera footage from April. The video shows what happened after police caught up with Bordertown Police Chief Brian Pesci, who's been charged with crashing his vehicle and fleeing the scene earlier that evening. The truck's driver's side door flung open. As the police arrive on the scene, they see him laying on his left side near the curb behind his Chevy Silverado pickup truck. Belt on his pants wide open, jeans partly pulled down. The officer's wondering out loud, is that pee or throw up on one of the tires? If you can't tell the difference between pee and throw up, someone's got to go see a doctor, because there's a distinct difference. Throw up ain't coming out of your pee hole. And if your throw up looks like you just went pee, you haven't eaten in days, man. So they walk up to the guy, right? And they're like, did he throw up? Did he pee? What's going on? Then one of the cops go, can we call your wife? And he goes, what's the problem? The cop says, nothing, but you look sick. No problem here. Just laying here. Sleeping in the middle of the road, the cop says. You're sleeping in the middle of the road. Your pants are down. Are you diabetic? No, not at all, Pesci answers. To which the officer responds, well, that's probably the wrong answer we were looking for. We were hoping you were having a medical emergency, but now it's all starting to come to view here, right? So he's laying there. Pants around his, Oh, lordy, lordy. But there's more. There's more. Okay, you got a choice, all right. So they load him into the ambulance, right? He caused a lot of property damage. All in all, he's facing 5 offenses. Drunk driving, leaving the scene of an accident involving property damage, failing to report an accident, reckless driving, and careless driving. loaded into an ambulance. He's told he's under the suspicion of driving while intoxicated, and he's going to the hospital for a blood draw. To which he throws up his arms and says, I drove? His eyes cut. He's laying there. The cop says, well, there's been several people that called and other witnesses that saw you get out of the car and walk back there and lay down. To which the chief of police says, no. Nobody was driving. No one was driving. But here's the dealio. He was promoted to chief in 2018. Yeah, congratulations. Promoted to chief in 2018 after 20 years of service with the Bordertown Police Department, following the resignation of disgraced former Bordertown Police Chief Frank Nucera. So there's a problem path here, right? Seems like a pattern of problems. The disgraced police chief resigns and is replaced by somebody who gets a DWI with their pissy pants down around their ankles. Well, not that far down. They didn't get that far. He's suspended without pay, or he's suspended probably with pay until the trial. But what they don't say, what was his blood alcohol level? They're always telling us that, aren't they? Aren't they always sharing that? They blew a 2.8 or a 0.28, or they blew a 0.30, or they blew a 0.19, whatever. Well, this information's not out here for this one, and it's a cop. So that's kind of weird, right? It's almost like they're not giving us the whole story for some reason. Can't be. Can't be. They wouldn't do that. That would be foul play. We don't do that. Oh, God. Police are human, too. But see the drinking, man. The drinking. But we look the other way. It's okay. You know, we look the other way. Drinking, marijuana, now that's a problem. But drinking, boys will be boys. With everything going on in the world now, with the COVID and the war and inflation and all these things, one of the things on the list is school tuition, right? Paying student loans back. Should there be loan forgiveness or not? And all this. I go, hold on a cotton minute here. We go, $61,000 a year to go to school. Boston University. They are raising the tuition by 4.25%, 4.25%, the biggest jump in 14 years. But wait, salaries, some of them are above $1 million, one's above $2 million a year. What are we paying administration that much for? But wait, $61,000 a year to go to school? Undergraduate students will now face a bill of $61,050 per year to attend Boston University. What the? What's to blame? Inflation. They are caught in an inflationary vice between the institutional pressures and the impact on our students and their families, according to Boston University President Robert Brown. Now, one spokesperson said if Brown would take a pay cut and some other staffers, that might help. right? The president earns 2.1 million annually, according to tax forms. 5 other faculty members top the $1 million mark. $1.8 million for Professor Physician Dr. Tony Tenori. $1.5 million for Professor Neurosurgeon Dr. Pushkar Mira. $1.2 million for Chief Investment Officer Clarissa Honeywell, and $1.1 million for Provost Gene Morrison. 2 more medical school professors earn $1 million plus, and assorted administrators bring home between $900,000 to $500,000 a year. A lot of money. So you're the president of a university and you make 2.1 million a year. 2.1 million a year. Let's see. If I can do that, let me get my Gazinta machine here. 2.1 million. Divided by 52. $40,000 a week. You're paying the president of your university $40,000 a week. Times 30%. They're making $28,000 after taxes. $28,000 a year. No. $28,000 a week after taxes. Let that sink in. You want to send your kid to Boston University to get a degree. You're going to pay $61,000 a year. You're paying 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks of salary for one person with your tuition. Ain't that a bitch? Break that down. $40,000 a paycheck. Right? 40, make sure my math is right. 40,000 times 52 equals 2.8 million. 2.08 million. So yeah. 40 grand a week to run a university. How hard is it? What special thing do you need to run a university? What is it that puts you above anybody else? 2.1 million a year to run a university. $40,000 a week. I dare say I could run your university for 2.1 million a year. You got to be kidding me. We don't like to break it down like that. We go, well, we're paying for a higher education. Boston University is a well-renowned school. Yeah. You know what it is? They can recruit suckers to go there. That's what it is. An education is not worth 60 grand a year. But we make it that way, right? Because you're paying for opportunity. When your child gets that degree from BU, it gives them opportunity in the world, a step above, right? It gives you that little edge over somebody else. 60 grand to go to school for 1 year. So that's $240,000, $250,000 to put your kid through school. How many people paid that all the years, paid it off, And now they're hearing people go, debt forgiveness, student loan forgiveness. What? Wait a minute. I had to pay $250,000 of stuff back for a 4-year degree. What's the payoff? I don't know. Doesn't seem right to me. But we pay it. $40,000 a week, people. I know people that make $40,000 a year and they live within their means and they're happy. Other people go, I don't know how they do it. When you made 20 grand a year, you'd have loved to have made 40. Now put that in a week. 40 grand a year pays 40,000 in 1 week, pays off all of our, right? You pay your mortgage for the year, you pay your car note for the year, you paid everything for the year in 1 week's check. So you get paid next Friday another $40,000. But all your bills are paid. So $38,500 goes in the bank for savings, and you got $1,500 to live on for the week and no bills to pay. But guess what? Next week, same thing, 40 more thousand in the bank. You have no bills to pay. You paid them already for the month, but you were able to pay for the whole year. So you don't have a bill coming until 11 months from now. But $40,000 a week is going in your account to run a school. Buy. Girl, buy. Hook, line, and sinker. But they're saying inflation. That is what I'm talking about. The fleecing of America. Nothing, it doesn't cost you $2.1 million. You don't know that much. I promise you, I could do your job, Boston University president. I could do your job. Believe me. I could do your job. I know a lot of people that can do your job. It is not worth $2.1 million a year. You will argue that because you have the good deal. But nothing you do is worth $2.1 million for the year. News for you, you got lucky. Good for you. I ain't hating. I'm just telling you, you ain't that smart. You don't know that much more than me or anybody else. You're not that much more valuable. Your knowledge is not the reason BU is around. It's a waste of money. You know what you're worth? The president of a university? $250,000 a year, tops. The president makes $400,000 a year of the United States of America. That's a way bigger responsibility than running a simple school. Oh, but it's not simple. It ain't worth $2.1 million a year, baby. I got news for you. There ain't nobody worth that. And that's okay. I know your athletes aren't worth it either. Matt Stafford, $30 million, Tom Brady, $20 million, whatever. They ain't worth it. Not going to argue that. They probably wouldn't argue that. But they're going to take the money. So is the principal, or whatever you call him, the president. I ain't mad at him. But don't think you're smarter. Don't think you're better. You just got more money because you got lucky and you bamboozled the American people. Congrats. But if we're stupid enough to pay it, then we're stupid enough to pay it. But when they're sitting there going, we can't afford your $2 million salary because nobody enrolled in school this year because we increased our rates to $61,000 a year. And you go, uh-oh, our enrollment's down 80%. To which we go, well, let's fleece the other dumb 20% even more. We'll raise tuition more, and they're dumb enough to pay it. And that's what will happen. Then you tout it as an exclusive school. We keep enrollment down intentionally so your kid gets the best education they can get. Bull crap. And you buy it. You buy it. Hook, line, and sinker. You go for it. Uh-oh, wait a minute here. We are into the music? Not anymore. Hate when that happens. There we go. Supposed to be break time, but it ain't break time yet. So I'll say when it's break time. And it ain't break time yet. So, but we're getting there. They blame it on, we need star professors. We need the top people, and we've got to pay them. Okay. But you're not explaining to me the $2.1 million for the president. $40,000 a week? What is it that where does that equate? Where's the value? Right? It doesn't matter how much money you have. If you've got $100 million and you don't see the value in something, you're not buying it, right? Because there's no value to it. So if you look at something and you can go, it's only $10. I got $100 million. I could buy 10 million of these, but I don't see the value in it. So I'm not even going to buy one. Why would you waste your money? Why are we having $10 million a year in salaries for administrators that your kids never even see? The president of Boston University is not educating your child. They don't have a stake in training up your child in the way they're going to go out of college. They don't even see them. They may not even have an office on the damn campus. But yet, $2.1 million, $40,000 a week. Your tuition is $61,000 a year. 1 week, 1.5 weeks of pay for a whole year tuition. Don't know what you do for a living, but how you can afford that and be okay with it is beyond me. I paid $60,000 for my kid to go to school for 1 year, and you're making $40,000 in 1 week, and you're the principal? I mean, the president? Okay. That makes a lot of sense to me. But we do it. And we accept it as that's just the way it is, the CEO. Okay, you're the chief executive officer of a company. We've got 17-year-old drug dealers that run an enterprise in the inner city streets, multi-million-dollar business, no college education, and they manage just fine. We can do what you do. We'll go watch the movie Trading Places, right? Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd, Jamie Lee Curtis. Watch it. It's a good movie. It's true. You can trade places with somebody and do what they do. $40,000 a week? Get out of here. You're nuts. You're nuts. It's crazy. When we break it down like that, there was the NBA player who was talking about that several years ago. His paycheck. They get paid like we do. They get a paycheck. Now it's direct deposit, but this was before direct deposit. Before it was prevalent, he gets a pay. They're on the road. I believe they were in Denver. They're on the road. They're the visiting team. They get their paychecks. He accidentally leaves his pay stub in there. The locker room attendant gets the stub, looks at it, takes a picture of it, puts it on the social media going, look at this. The paycheck was for like $400 and some thousand. They get paid every 2 weeks. So he's making like, $20 million a year or $10 million a year or something. His paycheck every 2 weeks is $400 and some thousand after taxes. Every 2 weeks. So he goes, we make an immense amount of money. We hear 20 million a year, but we don't see 20 million a year until you look at that paycheck. We look at our paycheck and we see, let's face it, people, 3 numbers after the decimal point, right? How many people make $1,200, $1,400 a week bring home? Not a lot. So we see $300, $400, $500, right? If you're lucky, you're making $700, $800, $900 a week. And then you see $437,000. You can't even fathom it every 2 weeks. That is what 20 million a year looks like. We don't think of it. So let's do the same practice here. Boston University charging $61,000 for an education. You're paying $240,000 for an education. When you get out of school, you're going to make 50 grand to start. 55,000, I believe, is the average. Where's the payoff? Investing your time in the long run, it pays off. We used to have that mentality in this country. Now we don't. Now we want instant gratification, free. Nothing's free. You will have to pay somewhere along the line. Somebody will have to pay somewhere along the line. Nothing is free. Free internet, no such thing. Free water, no such thing. Well, free water, yeah. Free clean water, no. Big difference. All right, break time. When we get back, we're going to finish up the day with, we got how to sell your murder house. And we're going to talk about some famous murder houses and whether they sold for more or less. And in today's market, everybody's buy, right? You get 20,000 more than the asking price or whatever. We'll talk about that. And we got some gardening stuff to finish up with. So to the last hour or so is going to be all about making your house the best it can be. Right here on Sapphire's Soup du Jour. Keep it locked. Love this song. Too bad you can't listen. Oh, let's see. We come back. Oh, wait, this is where I got to do some work. 1, 2, 3, 4. We come back at 9:27. Ooh. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Did I play the commercial already? So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs. We'll come back at 9:30. I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 9:31 would come back. Oh, wait. All right. Oh, let's see. Yep, sun's coming out. It's drying up out there. You better drive home than it was to drive in. Oh. Oop. Well, now I got something I got to do tonight. It was going to be pool and darts. Now it's going to be work. Oh, well, got to do it. Varsity women's lacrosse, Utica at Detroit Country Day, 7:30 tonight. Well, don't turn down the money, honey. Shit. Oh, well. I mean, I'm glad to work. I don't turn down the work, but I know you're sitting here watching me on my phone. Oh, well, got work to do. Watch me work. Watch me. Watch me. That's hard to be reliable all the time, but someone's got to do it. Today is 7:30 to 9:30. I'll tell you what. Lacrosse, not so bad. Soccer, man, that's a boring sport to film. It might be fun to play, but filming it, oh, the agony. Thursday, Country Day, Almont. Woo, glad it's not there. Yes, ma'am, Pam. Now that's changing everything because I was supposed to do a broadcast Thursday night for a Friday morning show. Have to change that, but I don't turn down work. Monday, May 23rd, 6 p.m. Damn. All right. I'll be there. All right. We come back at 9:30. I'll put it up there. I'm going to take a break real quick. Let's see how this works. We got craziness on the screen here, as you see. All right, we are back on a Monday. I love Mondays. They don't suck for me, but perspective, people. We don't like to put things into perspective, though. It's painful. It's uncomfortable. All right, we got a half hour left before we're out of here. Just under a half hour before we're out of here for the day on a Monday morning. Halfway through May already. It's May 16th already. Can you believe it? Time flies and it just keeps going quicker and quicker and quicker. And we are more and more distracted from what really things are truly about in life. Family, friends, and fun. I mean, life's not supposed to be a pain in the ass all the time. Cruel world we live in. Life's a bitch. People are stupid and mean, but hey, we're still lucky to be here. Very lucky to be here. So keep that in mind. I'm not sure exactly what happened to our computer screen here, but I got a split screen here. It's going crazy. I don't know what to do. But we're still working, so that's all I care about. Making it happen and keeping it there. Oh, let's see. Where are we at here? 9:32 and a half. On a Monday morning. 19 weeks into the year, we're at 198 mass shootings, right? Just 19. That's 10 a week. That's 10 a week. 10 mass shootings a week. Crazy. Don't even know how to handle it. Don't even know, you know what I mean? How do you handle that? Mothers in the streets crying everywhere because their kids are being killed over nothing. We don't value life. We don't value nothing. But speaking of value, what about home value? What if somebody was murdered in your home? What if somebody committed suicide, right? How do you sell a murder house? How does murder impact property value? Yeah, it's all about the mighty dollar. All about the almighty dollar. Right now, as we all know, it's a seller's dream. The market is absolutely seller's dream, buyer's nightmare right now. Right? Because if you're buying, you're having to pay for more than the asking price just to be able to be considered. But what can negatively impact the property value? Poorly edged garden will depreciate the value. Curbside value, when the appeal, they call it curb appeal. You got to drive by the curbside. You look at the front yard. You got to see yourself there, right? You got to see yourself on the porch with your coffee or your cold beer. You got to see yourself in the backyard. You got to see yourself in it. That's you. You can feel it. Appeal. But they used to be called murder houses. Now they're called stigmatized properties. Because stupid people won't know what that means. Stigmatized properties is a phrase keyed by the National Association of Realtors. Stigmatized properties include places that have been impacted by events such as murder, suicide, a notorious previous owner, and alleged occurrences like hauntings. Now, Dr. Randall Bell, the self-described master of disaster, has helped sell some of the most noted California stigmatized properties, and also in the United States, right? Including the previous homes of Nicole Brown Simpson and John and Patsy Ramsey. John and Patsy Ramsey were the mother and father of John Bonet, the childhood model and star who was murdered in her home on Christmas. Nicole Brown Simpson, the murder victim of allegedly accused killer O.J. Simpson, who was acquitted of the murder and found guilty in a civil trial and wrote a book. If he did it, this is how he would have done it. So it was all foobar. Well, they sold those houses. Yes, ma'am, Pam. Now, I don't know what's going on with my computer. It's freaking me out a little bit, but here we roll. So they got to do case studies and they got to figure out what exactly happened and everything. And the older the home, the more chances of death have taken place in there, right? What about the old granny who lived a full life and dies in the bed, in the hospital bed, in the home, right? It's a natural progression of life into death. Is that so bad? But data shows a murder site, a house that was a murder site, sells for 21% less than the previous sale price and 9% less than the list. So you can't even get your value back out of it. And they sell for 15% less than the comparable houses in that market. So you're taking a loss. You're just getting rid of it. And the problem being, it's harder to hide the information now. Buyers have more access to information than ever before. Internet, right? So it's harder to hide. It's harder to get away with. The LA home where the condo where Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman were murdered sat on the market for 2 years before selling at a loss of over $500,000. They had previously purchased the home for $625,000. They sold it at $525,000. The home at the center of the O.J. Simpson murder trial would later sell for $1.7 million after remodeling and an address change. Sometimes you can't even change, you can't save it from its past, right? Even a remodel. You change the address and everything, doesn't matter. The home of John Wayne Gacy, serial murderer, foreclosed on the home, completely demolished and readdressed. The new house on the site where Gacy killed at least 33 young men and boys finally sold after its owner cut the cost 3 times, $30,000 lower than the listing price. You lost your ass on that one. So, yeah, renting a home to somebody is important to know they're not going to be a killer so that your property value is no good no more. That was terrible English, no good no more. That was terrible English. I ain't even ashamed of it. But not all of them are degrading in price. Lizzie Borden, right? Took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks. When she see what she did done, she gave her father 41. What a bitch. That raised the price, right? High-profile murder locations do become commodities, like the Massachusetts home of Lizzie Borden. Meanwhile, if you remember Charles Manson, 1969, Sharon Tate, 5 others were killed, sold for $1.6 million in 1989. 18 times more than what the Hollywood talent manager paid for it in the early 60s. Now, the home was owned by a string of famous musicians, including Nine Inch Nails' Trent Reznor, before its demolition and readdressing in 1994. So the home that was built in place of the murder site was put up for sale by Jeffrey Franklin, who was the creator of Full House, with a list price of $85 million. Hell, the only one that could afford that would be the president of Boston University. Hollywood stories are an exception to the rule because of our infatuation with celebrity. And it's sick and twisted in a way, isn't it? "59% of stigmatized properties are bought by everyday people, homeowners that are going to live in their home. 20% are purchased by corporate entities for investment. Come to see the home of, well, perfect example, Graceland. Come and see the home of Elvis, right? Pay to get in, right? You got to pay to get in, I believe. Now, is that a stigmatized property? Did Elvis die in his Graceland home? On the toilet? Like alleged? I could not live in a home that had a very historic, a public historic crime in it. Several reasons. Most importantly, I wouldn't want the public notoriety, people going by the house. This is where such and such happened. It just, to me, no thanks. I don't need it. I need my home to be, I'm renting it whether I own it or not. I don't take it with me. So I don't need all that, right? I don't want to live in the former home of so and so, whether it be even if I come upon, I win the lottery and I got $100 million. I'm not going to buy Eminem's old home because Eminem used to live in it. I don't care. Other people, they'd go, "Oh no, it'd be awesome to sleep in the same room that he slept in." Why? What good is, you're human? He's human. That's the way we are. That's our human psyche. We want to walk their path, kind of, right? It's weird. Like we love to name drop, right? It's just human nature. People go like we know the person. I know somebody who's friends with so and so. I know a guy who is related to one of the guys in ICP. It's his nephew. They've known him since before they were Stinky J or whatever the hell they're called. They've known him since before they were famous. They were kids. They were little punks. They were this. People that knew Eminem as Marshall Mathers, but we go, "Oh, I know somebody who knew them," and it kind of inserts us into their lives, and it gives us some feeling of legitimacy, or it's just cool. It's just cool to say, "Oh, man, I know somebody who knows somebody." Those are the people that buy these properties. When they have the money to do so, they go, "But I own the house that John Wayne Gacy killed them people." Or, "I know somebody who knew Eminem when they were growing up." So friggin' what? Who cares? Mick Jagger goes and hangs out in local bars everywhere he goes. Nobody even recognizes him. But then when you say there's Mick Jagger, everybody realizes it's Mick Jagger then, right? Then we go, "Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's Mick Jagger. Hold on a second." All right, let's see where we're at here. 9:44, almost 9:45 a.m. We're going to get to, if we can get there, I'm going to do Bob proud and do famous birthdays if I can. Famous birthdays. Let's see if we can pull something up here. I wouldn't count on it being too big of a list. I don't even know what the hell I just did. Famous birthdays today. Let's see. Let's go to our birthday music. Happy birthday to Megan Fox. She's 30-something years old today. Yes, Megan breakthrough role in Transformers, Jennifer's Body, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've heard of her. Or am I thinking of Megan Fox from the one Donald Trump would fight with? What was her name? Megan something. Happy birthday to Janet Jackson today. Let's see. Who else we got? Not very prepared for birthdays, but that's okay. Pierce Bronson. Pierce Brosnan. One of my favorite James Bonds. Not my favorite. Sean Connery was my favorite, but I thought that Pierce Brosnan did a great James Bond. But what was the show he was in back in the day? What was the TV show he was in? Oh, it doesn't say. He was raised Catholic and served as an altar boy. Sorry about your luck. What was the show he was in back in the day? I can't remember. He was in GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, The World Is Not Enough, and Die Another Day. He also played Mr. Brunner in the 2010 film Percy Jackson and the Olympians. But they're not saying, it wasn't moonlighting, it was, I can't remember now, damn it. And they're not saying what he was in. I'll be darned, that's pretty rude. He must not want it to be known for that. It was a weekly whodunit type show. So anyway. Who else we got? Danny Trejo, movie actors. He was in From Dusk Till Dawn, Machete, Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy. He had a recurring role. Chris Novoselic, the bass player for Nirvana, celebrating a birthday today. All right, he does not look like a bass player. And let's see the comment, Miss Doubtfire. Yes, he was in Mrs. Doubtfire. He was the prick boyfriend in Mrs. Doubtfire. But Pierce was also in a weekly, hourly, like a Law and Order type thing. And I can't remember who it was or whatever. What was the name of it? But we'll find out. One way or the other. Let's see. Who else we got for birthdays? Tori Spelling celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Tori. And that looks like it. If you're celebrating your birthday today, we wish you a very happy birthday. If you're not celebrating it today, it'll be here soon enough. Don't worry. Oh, my goodness. I wish I could remember what Pierce Brosnan was in. Pierce Brosnan, Irish actor. Now we're going to find out. And once we do, I'll never forget it again. James Bond is what he's best known for. Mrs. Doubt, Remington Steele. That's it. I knew it once I saw it. He rose to popularity in the TV series Remington Steele that ran from 82 to 87. That's a whole other decade. He was the one who was assaulted by the drive-by fruiting in Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah, and there's Stu checking in. Remington Steele. It took me a minute, but then once I realized, yeah, that's it. So, well, that works out good. Today, also honor our LGBT Elders Day. Let me say this. We won't go into it too much, but I am able to be who I am because of the people that came before me. And knock on wood, we already went through the superstitions. Knock on wood, I'm fortunate enough to be able to live my authentic life because of the people that came before me and didn't have it as easy. So, big shout out to the LGBT elders, thousands of people who have paved the way for access and social acceptance. So today, if you are not LGBT, Today's a good day to become an ally. It doesn't mean you have to condone same sex. It doesn't mean you have to condone it at all. It means you have to treat people equally, even when they don't see your way, even when we're not the same view as you. Your mom didn't want to raise no homo, but here we sit, gay as hell, queer as a $3 bill. And you go, you know what? I love my kid. I don't care. Bam. That's all it is. We should be worried more about the 18-year-olds with the 200-page hate manifesto than the 18-year-old pole smoker who's running around with his earrings and long hair and makeup. They're not a danger to society. The transgender people who, whether they're passable or not, who got to go to the bathroom, do not want to see your little kid naked. They want to go potty and get the hell out of the stinky bathroom, right? Where I have to hover to pee is not the exact place I think of sexual things. But there are people that are. And you do have to worry. But you don't have to worry about us. And it's the same with anything. So today, LGBT elders appreciation, recognizing, and also teaching, right? Acceptance. Not tolerance, acceptance. Very big. Yeah. So Mimosa Day, you don't even got to, you combine the two all you want. LGBT knows about mimosas and brunch, right? There's not a gay bar in America without bottomless mimosas. There's not a gay bar that's not bottomless. It's the tops that are hard to find. What else we got? Do something good for your neighbor day. Maybe that's move. We have a peculiar situation. A neighbor here, this is funny. A neighbor is defined as a person who lives near another, one who is near another, or a fellow human being. Just because we don't live on the same street or in the same city doesn't mean we're not neighbors. Well, yeah, it kind of does, but in the concept of it all, we have a peculiar thing about neighbors. One house, our neighbor passed away, unfortunately, and kind of sudden. They're just finishing up the estate sale. The sign just went up, so now we're getting a lot of passersby and a lot of people looking at the home in a buyer's market. It's scary. We do not have kids, nor do we want to live next to any. So we are contemplating our next move, possibly. We have a house next to us on the other side. We've lived in this home for 5 years. In effect, we've had no neighbors. The neighbor next to us, the lady passed away, and the house has been laying empty but cared for 5 years. The next door neighbor on the other side, the guy just passed away. He lived in the home, but he resided with his girlfriend in a local city near us. He would be over in the afternoon to cut the grass and get the mail and everything, and he'd be gone. He never slept there. So we basically had no neighbors for 5 years, and now we're facing that we may be having 2 new sets of neighbors within a year. If it doesn't go good, we're out of there. We're going to get a new place. We're moving. And that's not very neighborly, but oh, there we go. That's it. That's the key right there. All right, that does it for us for the day. No word of the day. Just Bob couldn't be with us today, and he does the word of the day. So he'll be back Wednesday. We'll be back Wednesday, live and loud, baby. But don't forget, we are 5 days a week, Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 on the 9397 Network app or 9397network.com and live streaming on 9397 Network's YouTube, Facebook, and Sapphire'S Soup du Jour's Facebook page. Thank you for letting us in your house, car, or wherever you were listening today. And remember, opinions are a dime a dozen. Validation is for parking, and loyalty is not just a word, it's a lifestyle. Life is too short to put your key to happiness in someone else's pocket. Let that sink in. Life is too short to put your key to happiness in someone else's pocket and let them control it. And that goes on the road with road rage, in the supermarket with people around you. We got to learn to do better. All right. In a world where we can be anything, be kind. We have no idea what a kind word or a friendly smile can do to impact someone's day, maybe even change their life forever. We need more of that in this world. We need to figure it out. It is not the guns, it's the people behind the guns. We got to get it together. Until Wednesday, I'm Sapphire Pates. On behalf of Just Bob and myself, have a great day. We will see you soon. Bye-bye. All right. Now, if I remember to end the broadcast, I'll be doing good. Have a good day. See you Wednesday. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching, everybody.